This is Wadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Bi akwa Wadu TV so na ye take ye ho back to a brand cement a year 25 cedis 30 cedis na Gabby ochire da ko e chere se okoto cement 25 cedis osanko biwa omatum within a month no akọ 35 cedis nti journalists embisa se e banesen e na cement bono yatumesa Kevin Taylor de oyemo. Oh yes, this time you're taking him back to a no maybe a Kevin aka ebemu sisemri. Adia Kevin Taylor yen that day no ono ho. Gabby watched the class na making. Na ofaya ya ma even to emunsem a brana na poye energy minister. Say no person to ofato senedia ni nyina mu nsem nyasa ketwa se ene anye ne dia ene kemo ye nyina yese ebe ko gold ya ke nkokona sabontu nsini pa be fa didi en ke ne ene kemo ye nyina ade na ponu no moto mo ye no ni biza kavite la kasa meters na yesesa na ase ya no kwa na po mu share entina chenchina anche we se mo sisa meter yen take ye ho back to sa time no en sama kemetela kan ya esisi so wo de yen take
pon se onipa da sani dane tumi hye wunsem a onye nyame o so tie ase ansa na sebio onyame ebe ba nipa abra bom anase oni nipa bekasa no ofa nipa so eni tina nipa na wu nipa indi se ye pore nipa tumi homa wa onye nyankopon aya moma ye mbre ho ase aya moma ye njintum se eye nipa na ye som aya moma ye njintum se nipa bi na ma ye ho kwan nanka ya brabo aye boy nanka endenke ye hwe ho de agina bebi agina anka majority of us anka engina bebi agina sanka machine bi nanka ye de ekohyem ema machine a check here say we are qualified to be leaders whether politically religiously or traditionally anka majority of us will not be where we are today momembre ho ase na abosum kura sebio ye gina omonim di nsie no omo bro mo ho ase onyankopon anim mombre mo ho ase mombre ye ho ase momayembre ye ho ase na nipa enema ye tumi obanyansafo ye buni be. Now let's move on. This is another Jandambia, another story where Gabby Ochredako. Where 2014, this is what Gabby Ochredako ekaye. I say last month, and this is the kind of politics that NPP 4 year diabedru hande, and the so-called intellectuals were sitting on Twitter and Facebook and hailing these criminals, calling themselves "we are the men with intelligence." Where 2014, asama Gabby Ochredako kaye ni. Or say, last month I bought cement in Ghana for 25 Ghana cedis per bag. This month it is selling at 35 Ghana cedis. Can our journalists find out why? Gabby Ochredako 2014 or say July 8th. Or say, sir, July 8th, no, the month before, no, June, auto cement, now one bag. Time and Mahama tesu 2014 no na cement one bag 25 Ghana eba July no 2014 no afi okoto cement about 35 Ghana they see obusa o say journalist na mo Ghana no mummusa ana munchechire mu ne kire no say eye dan enende ye to cement say but kwase bi ti radio so John Mahama de on the 24-hour policy no ebe say Ghana abo bi ba ko kire mu kire Gabby adekudie ntia ye to cement ba ko de ye to no emoa and the mother name Ponchina Mugu radio so TV so and I'm sorry oh John Mahama 24-hour economy bank munim say 24-hour economy John Mahama 24-hour economy or betwala essential exams mu say agenda ni nyina say let's go after Mahama. No matter what you people do, you cannot convince the people again. Say John Mahama nye why na yento abama no kwasiafo mo ba hyehyɛ abroche de bi ma betetra Ghana mu fin mo be ka no kura na kyerɛ Ghana for no yete ha me de mini problem me ni wiase nyanse nyina. I'm also like any ordinary person that watch me. The question here is John Mahama nyade the 24-hour economy no on to me implement it the licensure exams no e be say Ghana John Mahama ni NDC omo nkyerɛ omo failure yate ase John Mahama ni NDC failure Ghana for yate ase NPP for say failure Ghana for yate ase why na yentoma no emmoa Sankamo betena radio so a na mu cheche John Mahama 24 hours no ene de ene hu bi da ene nkwase akeka no na nkama kire Ghana for say Ghana for John Mahama on to me ndi man no so on to me embu man no if you say we di president da we ntumi embu man no eye Mahama Bawumia ene Akufo Addo so de omudo ma ye grebu enti ya ntoma hwan me betena no ma kire Ghana for adekudie nti a Ghanaians should vote for John Mahama. And I have stated the reasons and I've shown them the facts and the kind of things he did under his leadership. And until we have taken that position that we are not going to shake from. Say John Mahama is the right person to lead. Mo betina radio ni TV so a mo kan samunti mo ignorance and illiteracy. Mo betina radio so a you want to indirectly lie to the people. Into mo betina radio so a John Mahama 24-hour economy. And I entiasie and a 24-hour coming ye be ne saying and NPP ni NDC omo failure missing one ne ento abama no ashawfo one ne ento abama no ashawfo intercontinental ashawfo ye ento abama hwan nka mo betena mo radio so mo TV so a na nka mo kire Ghana fo me ne efra me kua poki NPP nye ye entiasie omagu anim ase de ye ma omo nyina no omo ntuma ambo adwuma no entafo NDC de dabi na nka makye nipa ento abama no na se mutiti mu show no so enkofo mbeso mu di president enso eba mu show no so ade na mo suggest sa nkofo ne magana fo because mun say sa nkofo ne jimi mun say sa nkofo no omo level of thinking ndu John Mahama majority of you people are interviewing people who want to be president and ameboa. Why don't you people suggest those people to Ghanaians to say asimesi the ultimate show so they be obese na no keka nkwasi abrofo asimesi the onimnyansa chejoma why are you people not able to say NPP ni NDC failure asimesi nkwasi afo no betata mu show no so no why don't you tell the people watching you say I think this guy can lead Ghana muntumi because you know the level of intelligence that John Mahama want nobody in our political space today has that enti Money assembly can you people should shut up. And the Ghanaian is enlightened now. Ghana didn't Jimmy Bium. And my mom's pasa mo jandamne mo tribal foolishness no. Every day we want to move forward. The same thing. Time John Mahama was all year Juma, OC schools, OC hospitals, all year kwine near to radio so Ghana, near catch Ghana for the John Mahama nyashi. I didn't say or 10 year NDC ni. And you see Bawumia and Nana Akufo Addo mbra. And the Akufo Addo be Jimmy no 7 years. And I an assistant or the Jimmy 7 years now, but say Yenny the president. Now, moment to work as an assistant, no, and I will be also on to me. Why na yen to mano, mon country aka, bosume, do me a nupe, ne akotwaba. If at this point you are still sitting on radio as a journalist, sitting on TV as a journalist, and you cannot straightforward tell the Ghanaian why you think John Mahama or Bawumia is better to lead, then you are an ignorant person, you are misleading. It's a fact. 1 year to elections. If you're a journalist today in Ghana and you cannot emphatically say the two biggest biggest parties in Ghana, their leadership, their also Oteki lead, you know, now untumiso and suggesting an alternative to these two political parties, then you are crazy. Uniminyansa, you are the people derailing us. Enti sa we Ghana ni na sa wo say nyoma nyeye Ghana say esia de NPP de ehwamo NPP NDC de ehwamo me ko tie asemesi na wo kona asemesi entuma suggest ama nipa wo so toma na sa asemesi no wegimi chen if say we entumi ama wansa bia that asemesi should be able to give you a reason why or radio so na TV so ka say toma Bawumia toma Mahama na so we entuma suggest na ka kire wo say NDC faili NPP failure na he mu ne emeto abaningu. We need to get some things right. In this obiti TV so ne na opo Okekan kwasi asema, it's the 24-hour economy na Ghana for pay, and that is what Ghanaians are yearning for. Now, young queen na mention my dear, calculation, egigim. Ghana card digital address will help reduce interest rates. Way 2017, and I'm do Bawumia ekache Ghana for 2017. Bawumia ekache Ghana for say Ghana card digital address system ebeboa ema interest rate na ba form. Okache say Ghana card no ene eden eye address na say GPS bi do ba no ebema eye den sebio ukoji loan wo banka ehun nsiwo no ebetia ba form say bim and the interest rate eye 30%. Into Ghana card ene eye den GPS or the address system no then we are guarding near Bawumia na adwini edwuma na adwini edwuma wo twa wotro. He has lied to you. And these are the things you journalists are supposed to point out to the people, that they cannot allow a liar to lead them, because continuously this guy has never said one truth in his political life. Bawumia. And as we sit here, and then the Bank of Ghana came out, the interest rate and I say policy rate, it is at 30%. That means uko loan ako ye juma ehun sinwo 30%. Tama mahama ona saying we nyina muntumi ntina radio so nkasa dabi ye de we anyway atoto nsuo ni ya hwede emu odu na emu ha. Because if you want to compare the NPP to the NDC, you go and check the numbers and compare to today's numbers. So what's in akwesi amako odi 49th de bia ewo eye class into abon no wakofa eye obabi free eye ekurufu for say ombra no medi first na oba no bedi 50th agosi amako abon na ombon ye onimade wejimi, because at the end of the day no enya agosi amako na we. So you can say whatever you want to say, but when we pick the green book and we pick the achievement of the NDC compared to the tracking system we cannot even find on the internet by the NPP, you need to understand the NDC deserve to lead. And that is how journalism is supposed to be done today. This is not a time for you to be analyzing anything to me. Analysis in cheme. I want you to tell me, in your opinion, who should lead Ghana. That is all. In your opinion. And so we shall be show every day, every night. Not say in her opinion or in his opinion or in that person or those people's opinion. They cannot emphatically tell you that this government should continue or has failed. Then that person is diabolic. That person is not a journalist. He is a party communicator. What is your opinion? My opinion is John Dramani Mahama has to lead, because this and that and that. And I'm the actual green book criminal. I am holding on to this. I am basing John Mahama say on to us because of this. Now, if you come sit on radio like myself to say journalist, and in your opinion you cannot tell me who to lead, then you are confused. I don't need to listen to you. And then I'm catching Ghana for you need to be asking these people. Opinion is saying I'm about to show no more the day. The reason why I don't interview people is because majority of the people they interview on radio, they have exhausted all their ideas. Why they interview no Ghana bium? When you watch their shows, now of what it's say interview, what do you get from it? There's nothing. There's no material. Hopes na do eba obejimi. Kofi Kurantimba oba be fake mo. Obi oba be bia be twa draw. The issue is it's not about interviewing somebody in the chest or a qualified journalist and how you're intelligent or you can analyze issue. It's about your opinion, for the person to analyze your opinion and say what opinion no, me way opinion no, it makes sense. It does not make sense. That is how a journalist is judged. A journalist is not judged by the number of people he or she interviews. And it's not last Galiana to kind of to Indian or to Angel FM. Italian money box say I Kevin Taylor with me my interview ex-president Kronfo who interview Kofua. Who have you interviewed? But that does not mean say you are a journalist. Your opinion, your analysis, your dissecting of the issue for somebody to sit back and also analyze from what you did, that makes you a journalist. It puts you ahead of the person. In this Obesham show, that's my opinion about what is happening in Ghana politically. Then you are wasting your time here, because I need to give you my opinion for you to analyze that opinion as a rational human being. Then you be like, okay, Kevin, I can say this. Intimisumi nipa. Ni opinion no. Na misumi opinion. Me share Kevin Diana outweigh me and I say me outweigh no. That is how you think. So it's not about going to sit on social media or Facebook. No, also be to also a host. Now the past 7 good in China. And also count there. And also saying, your time is over. Oh, they anyway in Kasa. They don't have any better opinion. One year person who opinion. Kevin Taylor is saying, say, if you're a journalist in Ghana and you cannot give your opinion on what is happening in politics today and who or which party should lead, you don't deserve to sit on TV, deserve to sit on social media, deserve to host any show. Now you people get it. Inti, most start analyzing how opinions are gathered. It is not about a year Obia will interview no. Me, I'll never call an NPP communicator to come sit on my show because he's coming like a robot. An NDC communicator is coming on my show as a robot because they are coming to defend their political party. Each of them will defend their political party. Nobody will throw John Mahama under the bus. Nobody will throw Bawumia under the bus. Now, what is my opinion? Do I want Bawumia or do I want Mahama? What am I going to tell the people to understand? Say the reason why I'm saying Mahama is better than Bawumia is this. Then you check. So you people should forget about this. Interview. It is only in Ghana every nonsense is interview. Jimmy Nibia to be granted Jimmy Nibia interview. We sit there and at the end of the day, the journalists know your host, they will not tell you their opinion. You will not be able to know their intelligence. Every time they try to do editorial, you see how weak-minded they are. And I'm steady here. Anytime majority of these journalists in Ghana are more Ghana radios and TV, so they try to do what we are doing here, doing an editorial opinion. Then you get to know, and as a girl with Jimmy sir, that is where you get to know their weakness. Into a better shows 1 hour. Nipa phone also. Obia for 20 minutes kasa. How many minutes on Obe kasa? Only bibiaka. Because only research, only opinion, on your journalist or your party communicator. And I'm steady here. Some shows na moshana. Omode guest abeguzu for na. Session here 1 hour. Na guest biya kasa 15 minutes. I saying 30 1 hour. Or no journalist no unim no opinion. And the reason is so unim ni pana opinion, ni pana or two directly show opinion. Why are you watching the show? Now I mention my DB. Taxation or say Chairman Sabunsu or say economic management team has no constitutional basis. Majority leader shields Bawumia from NDC attacks way 2022 last year. A young Kwasiafo Nebejinaka say Mahamudu Bawumia was selected because of his economic background. And yet we will make a say Mahamudu Bawumia is the head of the economic management team and on 2022 or say Chairman Sabunsu said or CEO the economic management team any constitutional basis. In just economic management team na omuto de bi omudeka say Bawumia ekufuado yi Bawumia because onim economics. Bawumia yi a group who are intelligent. Bawumia na china bedwum ka say when was the last time you heard the NDC talk about their own economic management team? Say Nanado Danko ekufuado and I catch say Bawumia the background in economics entina ofano and that's why you're 10 intra. And Bawumia so catch say ekufuado fan if you say you're 10 and also economics. Mahmoud Bawumia Bejina TV so catch say ono na the chairman of the economic management team. Na NDC for the omunim bibia. And or say chairman Sabunsu what na parliament. Or say onim nyansa chen obi a parliament no. Or catch them so am for say ende mo so am ne Ghana mo obi ankasa Bawumia na economy ne yemblemu no. Na yenko blemu okpo. Oh, how these politicians and these so-called some of these foolish journalists will not tell the people the truth about how hypocritical, insensitive, and foolish some of these politicians take Ghanaians for. They think Ghana for Jimmy. And I'll say Chairman Sabunsu at the TV so catch Ghana for say, my blame Bawumia, yanko blame Kufuado aka 4 months no wuno, or no na, what's the economy no, into ye Jimmy nti, ya betina ha, me yaka nibanti, Sebio, me do NPP, Papa ninti, na ma bejina say, oh, or say Chairman Sabunsu nim nyansa. Abranko for Jumegu Kofu, or say Chairman Sabunsu, Omo to Abamano, Omo Train Sanka, Brabobe Bapa, Abanwe Ebe Nyomaye, the government will make sure they manage the economy well because they were making noise about the economy. They were saying, say, the John Mahama administration could not manage the economy. Today, this Osei Chairman Sabunsu, this thing is sitting on TV telling us we cannot blame Bawumia because he wants to be Bawumia's running mate, and that we should blame Okpo. We should go and blame the toy gun, the toy president. We should blame Ekufuado, who will die soon. Now he is shifting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's failure onto Ekufuado. You see how foolish this is. You see how disrespectful these people are. Also, Munipa. Omu yesi e Jimmy. If you some journalists for being kwasiafo atena radio, so I can say my man discuss we na yan discuss John Mahama 24-hour economy. Eba kwasiafo ebe bo obusuafo mu Ghana. And the John Mahama hospitals I will see bu asante memye bia omo abusuafo mu gu Ashanti region omo na ebe bo omo. And someone can know you were over a year. NPP are buying you. We still have over a year. I was saying Kwasiafo we manage Ghana. They are beginning to make it look like say Abani Yatum. Yantu Abani Mo. These people are still supposed to run this government for another year. Today, nobody is speaking about it. We are talking about John Mahama 24-hour economy. Now the authorities here also on managing your money, or not also on the policy. Or Chairman Sabonsu is telling us. Say, yanko blewe kufuado, or in a way Jimmy, or in a yachimini abua. Oni ne nim nyansa na Bawumia de obeso ne vice president nti yenjai Bawumia na Bawumia a onim hwi woni tirim no ni tirimu ayehwe se koraba no yembe Bawumia president na Bawumia nya ne vice president yanti Bawumia na ama economy ne gina bibi gina omo nhia Bawumia nka omewu Bawumia na sebio economy na ekoye ne esine na aso san kofo we aso bi empenifo and the Osei Chairman Sabonsu adane ne ho beka kire ye say me yem blemu Bawumia ni yenko blemu Ekufuado jimijimi no yenko blemu eye Kimbu product no with all due respect to Kimbu any current Kimbu students and the Osei Chairman Sabonsu say yenko blemu Ekufuado na onim ne left from the right no na yenjai Bawumia and so sankofo ya no bja TV so introduce Bawumia kire say he is the head. He has basically changed our economy, our status. Na munim say Debbie say baba. Now when you say Debbie say baba, you have some questions. Ma catch them waha. We don't disrespect people, but when you show disrespect, we will not spare you. Debbie, I can't say we don't disrespect anybody. Me, and idea say, me sorry, no disrespect you be. But when you show me disrespect, I will disrespect you 2 times. And this is clear disrespect from Osei Chairman Sabonsu. Osama for nanosa boto, koko boto, kekan kwasi asem eno presidential advisor. Osaf Mafu was the finance minister during Kufuor's time. What did Osaf Mafu do? Osaf Mafu and on the Bawumia Bank of Ghana and on Muchenyi Ghana Sika as a redenomination. Osaf Mafu dear no nim. Ya won in 1932. Sata na tia bo frekuta otu for the fa. That time near the champon fiashe anum and ye kontokwa. Sa 1932 no nanka Facebook kwa sata nka Yesu ni status, the Facebook status and can ni rules ye different. Tete na mutim ya tititim ene yempese ya besesa ewiase sesa nyoma sesa amamre kura sesa first dipo ne ye ne sen first ne etwa emba twetia ne etwa ene ejai we revolve yes sesa as ewiase sesa no na wa mamre kura na sesa tete ne egu nsasen ene egu nsasen tete na wana nanum ohene be nanum agi whiskey ene agi whiskey tete na nya snap nkwa ne enum because that was the only thing there. And moji ensa $100,000 bottle na moji shefie nom. Ade na monka say amamre no amamre de obi agya na gina obi aba offer eye Holland shnapomra. We need to accept. We need to move forward. Mumi enjay nkura sesam no na afa yembusansam impenifo ne muya. Let's be straightforward with them. Mumi asese mindset nkura sesam na am ya bedru bebi agina no. Obi antan obi a. And Osei Chairman Sabonsu ka kire say ye ma ye blemu Bawumia ne enko blemu ne papa why ne enko blemu no people have lost jobs amanfo ewu amanfo me no ka say ebu hyedam esu obi hyedam ne dwuma nyina asai ne sika ahye ne bibia o ye bia ase ahye wote parliament e masa nipa na woda ho gene to e di jantrafo ka kire say nipa na onya arehye wo mu akoto abama NPP no. Let me tell you something. 2016 majority of Ghanaians voted for the NPP because of Bawumia, not because of Ekufuado. Every single intelligent Ghanaian has said the Okos Kukakana Nimse Ekufuado bomb. We all knew it. Ne yen Nimse Ekufuado a drug addict. Yen Nimse Ekufuado cocaine one. Ne yen Nimse Ekufuado read the empano. Ne yen Nimse he was dead brain. But the issue is people voted for Ekufuado because near say wakofa brand be a friend Bawumia baby Mahama dollar ne one a CD in 4.1 no obetumi asesa no. Amanaba form. So majority of the people went out there to vote for Bawumia, not to vote for Ekufuado. Bawumia has been running mate for 16 years and he has been vice president for 16 years almost. Sorry, he has been running mate for 8 years and he has been vice president for 8 years, 16 years. When was that opportunity to Bawumia? Now just John Mahama and vice president for 4 years and Osabebe for Kanu Kobe. But the issue here is You Mahmoud Bawumia, obeye running mate 4 years. Running mate 4 years. Oh hijack party 8 years. Also be running mate 4 years. And I also be vice president. And I also be vice president. Calculate. Oh experience that you are supposed to be able to change Ghana. You still want more time. Now you're Mike Tyson. You want more time. Oh yeah, Okada. Open more time. What the other day? Or so for that Zimuna Oko close to show no. More time out there. You still have time. You are still the vice president and the chairman of the economic management team, head of the police council. You are still the vice president of the republic. In fact, you are the president because you have a lame duck sitting in the Jubilee House who cannot read and understand, always smoking and does not know what to do. You are supposed to take responsibility today and change the figures. So if you cannot change the figures today and telling me I should give you another 8 years or 4 years, I'll be a fool. And in the first place, nobody is guaranteed 8 years in Ghana as president. And it's not John Mahama. You can't say in the first 4 years, you can't lie to Obama. So you are not guaranteed presidency. Mahmoud Bawumia is not guaranteed presidency. We have to look for people who are ready and capable of doing with experience. You have gained 16 years of experience. Oh, the day. Oh, sir, more time. Now more time. To Jimmy Naonia. Oh, more time. More time. Out the day. And we sit in Ghana and we are entertaining this kind of mediocrity. Some journalists are sitting in Ghana because they are Santifonti. We need to defend trash. And we will sit here and defend John Mahama's policies because they make sense. Because they will create opportunities. Because people will get jobs to do. Yeah, hospital so almost 8 years in Kwasi Assembly Jimmy. A whole national women's organizer sits on TV and say, "Yeah, cabinet meeting na Bawumia kasa ta. Euphoria kasa bam. We mumboke jifanishem." And idea we in case you were NDC timer and sebio and Kwasi Ababi on radio so some journalist asante for and account for journalists. Come be didn't para tamade NDC don't do what tama F4. Yendi John Mahama ni NDC for them because NDC ni ba bia be kan say. Na end day yeni ankasa ye bottom Yanyangas Yabusian Jimmy Omoa, Yan Kanshe, Nanya Den, Yanya Dean, Dabio, Yanya Sankwasi Adibi Morgano. We will tell you the truth. We will let you people understand. Yan Jimmy, Bawumia needs to change the economy in the next month. He needs to do whatever he can do because nobody is guaranteed presidency in Ghana. It is up to us, the voters. It is not up to NPP. It is up to Ghanaians to elect who becomes president. In Tianena Montiasia, Ebiana, Margin, and Yejumakase. Ghanaians will choose the president, not MPP. Into Virginia will say, you please the MPP, you don't please Ghanaians. Mahmoud Bawumia was 12 months, he can change everything. Build the 350 senior high schools, one district, one dam, one constituency, 1 million. He should be able to build regional hospital. He should be able to employ Napo people back, pay all nursing allowance, make sure, say, every single person who own a bank account in Ghana. Mahmoud Bawumia needs to make sure all these things are done in 1 year because he told us that's why we gave him power. Yan China mouth to me now better policy. What policy? You are sitting with policy. You are sitting in your policy. Finish that policy. Any fool comes on TV and say, wait for Bawumia's policy. Why should I wait for Bawumia's policy? Whilst I've still given him a job to do. Mahamudu Bawumia Juma se onye. A Juma be ended 2024 December 7th. 2025 December 7th. So as we speak today, we still have a social contract with Mahmoud Bawumia to change the life of the nurse now or Deneka. 2 years allowance. He needs to do it. As we speak, Mahmoud Bawumia has a contract, a social contract with Ghana for also basically 350 senior high schools. We are still waiting because we still have a contract with him. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP said they will make sure they pay rent for every young man in Ghana, young woman in Ghana. We are still here. We still have a contract. It has not expired. Now, on your side, to me and fulfill your part of the contract. You are telling me, sir, Ashu, you are going to give me new ideas. What about them? Are you a criminal? Am I foolish? Am I stupid? The one I've given you, I've not been able to deliver. You want me to give you another opportunity? Oh, I have some new plan. You have given me a plan. Plan I'm a share one thing I'm to say, and the you came to show me something I should invest in. Mahmoud Bawumia from 2016. You gave me something, you gave Ghanaians something to invest in, and we invested all our taxes in it. You still have a year to complete whatever your part of the bargain. We sit here, you're telling me I should give you another chance. You are going to present another strategy. No, finish this contract because you are not even guaranteed the next contract. Who says Bawumia is guaranteed another contract to become president or vice? He's not. So let's get it straight. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not sit there and let some people ignorantly and their tribal selfishness, they think they can sit there and lie to some people. TV so no radio so no more from radio so no more issue. I'm say, hey, what is your opinion? So I'm to my answer. Metia obiel to my answer. Mrs. Ankwasha from Google Radio, so Peace FM, Nedi and Diano. Mumusa almost say, now one guy's our host show, what opinion about Bawumia and Mahama is saying, I got so many into Diane, more. What you say, went to mania, they will be to me yet. Went to mania, young pong, no biancoda, more bottom. We will still build this nation. America, they started this way. It's been two-party states. Parties, upon all their problems, they still maintain these two parties. And kwasi for munya opportunity na ba America betina ha wo sem ponche adan a Korean muye ye wo a ye wu two parties they do mabeduru ha and ntina kwasi for mabeduru am use mo ho kan a muntumi nkom krom no efri say obi atena ha ato abama two parties that me see hospital papa. Two parties no et me and making sure infrastructure is solid. Two parties that me making sure say continuously and slowly and then and basically criticizing each other, they've been able to do what? Contribute to the people. What do you say, Jimmy On? What do you say, Moa? Edrumusuna sa Adena said, yeah, I must say, and they will be a dear Mabu Bodam, Muntuya Muntu Ghana. Now, my mention my baby. You better do what Thomas I become answer. Now, I'm on your debut. See this. Taxation. All right, this is done. Nana Dankwe Kufuor has spoken, one of the most reckless statements in the history of Ghana. And I've told you guys, this guy is a vegetable. Nana Dankwe Kufuor is the biggest failure when it comes to politics in Ghana. This guy. And Embrewa omu yeni colleagues kura yeni mate. Omu ne nima mbuofu. Nyansa na onibi. Me catch them. From day one, we told you this guy is a mess. He has been a mess from day one. Nana Dankwe Kufuor has always been a mess from day one. Maybe reading history, would say Kufuor, he's not human or a toy. Onim nyansa ye dibu mai. Onim nyansa kra ni obaba akotena ware no onibi. He does not have that level of intelligence. So I met me oba we atena me aware be for because he's not stable in his brains. Nana Dankwe Kufuor, at the end of the day, Okachire must say, ono ena Ghana edana komaso. I can play videos upon videos to show you in some and another Dankwe Kufuor the catch Ghana for and sorry or say emrantia omukoya day omukodo do John Dramani Mahama office omoden sikan kodo do office wa omoche say omo party leader office nie na omo do ho no na another Dankwe Kufuor the bien na say no person will be allowed to destabilize Ghana. Dementia na afani tima be pie ni be mem. This guy is the most senseless president Ghana has ever seen. Which I'm saying, say, the Amuya in 2020, ma from Wedi, mo kunipa from Wedi. Me say the people, and this is for they will not do anything. No, the people, and the people will revolt, and they will let you understand that they are stronger than any political party in Ghana. There are people who were killed; they were not affiliated to any political party. You were their president, and you are still their president. You want call for Omumba Mutu, Omuni NDC, Omuni NPP, or your president, Uru Jimmy Tinkran. When to me and Castle we want them, Yentuan for Obia Ma Ampanational, Uru Jimmy said, people who want to destabilize. Nambi someone can want to. When someone can want to kind, and I'm just going to a kunipa from Wedi. People will retaliate. People will show you, they will show you and your family and your foolish idiots that these people you are treating like animals, they will treat you like same. Gaddafi people rose up against them. You might have your own opinion, but at the end of the day, to me, nipa na di to me manipa. We have people in this country, they say they are elders, they are statesmen, they say they are learned, they are people who respect the constitution. Nobody has been bold to tell you that action alone, this action alone of you not speaking about the Techiman South killings, it can turn this country upside down. Ghana. Nobody has spoken that you need to make sure you correct this before 2024. This is murder. Ghana when people are going out there to vote, they carry that in their head. And we will be playing these videos the night before elections. We will tell the people to arm themselves, because today not everybody wearing or anyone wearing soldier military uniform and our police uniform is your friend. We know how you have packed the military, you have packed the police, you are using the police, you are weaponizing them. So Ghana for the two of the say and your police Libya na wadamfo. And your soldier Libya na wadamfo. So soldier need to match to police need to Ghana and you bet to make. So always be on the alert. You will see what will happen. Nobody can say anything to you. Today you are scared. After you leave power, you see what the people will do to you. Jimmy too much. The biamuji so be Jimmy. The biamuji so monkwana mukuta to me. Masa amanfo kuta to me papa. Ejemu. 30 million people. How many people are Ghanaians? Ghana for me saying. Amanfo kuta 100 million people. 200 million. Omo jemu ananti. Kwasiade. Now, let me show you this. Over the weekend, at TBB. And this story is quite an interesting story. Story near day. Road safety campaign. Muntie story weye. Metiena maisre. Road safety campaign. Pragya riders to receive special identification cards to curb road infractions. So I'm for the overture had you say almost say Pragya for muchi Pragya, ya be mom ID card, send ye be ya a betcha a year Sibu Nipa Emma Pragya shere omonkwa and I say nyome bia Emma Pragya chino muchino enko a hajini enko cause accident enko mani pebin prana ni pebi wu yanti kruma and ankwasha for we be yan Miami journalist for ibia etina radio so nansi ya na ekua poki eti the show so osian ene easy for na John Mahama baye osi eyi Okada obe streamlining munim nipa dodo Okada kuomo munim nipa dodo Okada kuomo kwasiafo. You are giving Pragya people ID cards. What are they doing? You are giving them ID card to prevent accidents. John Mahama says he wants to come and streamline everything to prevent the same accident, and so kwasiafo moto you don't see this. Oh, some Jimmy. They are giving Pragya people card so that it will curb the infractions. And when John Mahama and Professor Napo any NDC forecast say the transportational system Okada delivery Pragya, we need to streamline it. No, dear Namutina radio. Nancy foolish girl, no, not the TV. So I John Mahama and Okada no muni ni padudu eku Okada ku omo Ghana kwasia. Dear Ntinya as we move forward, those are the things. Muni ni padudu car ku omo Ghana. I don't know about so on your coin, but there should be a way. We should start from somewhere. We should be able to streamline the system. Send those things slowly, we are able to overcome them. In Tobika said in 2020, John Mahama and NDC, Professor Nano Pokwajwa almost said, we want to streamline Okada. We want to streamline tricycle. We want to streamline Pragya. Yebe more card. Yebe making sure say omunyina belong to an institute and I say a company. Omunyina have numbers. Omunyina can be tracked. Omunyina have been ensured. Mutina Ghana kwasiafo brofuna muntinti. And then in Ghana, road safety campaign. Yebe ma Pragya for ID card. ID card omufanya den. They are trying to streamline them. The same NDC manifesto. Nima de ma bombom kurasifo mo funeral announcers and mo betina radio this some journalism. This is what John Mahama wanted to implement comprehensively. Mo Jimmy at the papa ba mo pe say free NPP NDC nkwade mo tiase na mo draws mo afọ na mo yi baby hair tan I say jantra from Bijan junction so ade ankwase akeka. Wait, what is this? What is this? Is this different from John Mahama NDC 2020? Omkas on streamlining Pragya, Okada, and all tricycle transportation in Ghana. What's the difference? John Dramani Mahama is 100 years ahead of Nkwasiafo. John Mahama is 100 years ahead of you fools. You people don't think. Now some of the journalists must say Ghana. What is your opinion? Your opinion. Who should we vote for? NPP NDC Most of them no nsuo ni antoaso. On some nyina mai din. Ka ofo ya muti omo no ni miria o. Omo nsua de eye nkuru asesam no de radio so eye eyawo. Ma me ka be nkyere mo. Majority of these are can media. Me nuanom akamfo me akani o. Boga, ebi kura wo nya de hye. Ai. Ebi a wo ekue efie akonnwafo tantan bi na wudi. Ebi a wo papa ko rape obi na ende wo papa entumi nsi fie e na ebusua fie mu na wo busuafo te. Ebi a wo krampo no bukuro mu ankasa na mo nhyɛ da ne bebi mpa mo furu matua. So what ase me akani mamu yemfa eyawo ensei man no. Eyawo ne yede say Ghana. We are using pain because we are what? We have been disappointed. Yentumi mfa oyawo ensei Ghana. And it hurts because you people are taking inspiration from desperation. And that is what we are seeing on TV. You, these so-called journalists, account media for no, you are taking inspiration from desperation. You people are desperate. Or basically, right now, you are trying to throw everything at the NDC. Nobody can sit in Ghana. So, we are economists in the world today. And you open your mouth to say 24-hour economy is bad idea. What but your bawasum as an economist in 2023. Now Bawumia TV, so I can say John Mahama's 24-hour economy is bad idea. You are not even supposed to lead any student in Ghana. So we are TESCON. Now we are business student. Law. What's the now Bawumia TV so I catch the Ghana for say the 24-hour economy John Mahama is proposing is bad idea. That idiot is not supposed to lead. We are Ghanaian. We are business minded. We are young Ghanaian who understand the modern world. You are not supposed to vote for such a fool. On Tiasie. You see the nonsense they are doing. Into a enche, about some other so Yama Okada for Yama Praga for ID card. Into the John Mahama card 2020 no. Kwasia for some will say to me see. When you go back into the People's Manifesto, now show the way the NDC broke it down. I want to say you will answer for the way Jimmy for no dear Sunday. John Dramani Mahama and the NDC and Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, they are 100 years ahead. Sibia Kwame Nkrumah in 1960 was thinking about Tono. John Dramani Mahama in 2016 was thinking about streamlining Okada. John Mahama in 2012 was thinking about making sure every single region, at least free senior high school, no e-blocks no be about 1010. The way John Mahama, Kwame Nkrumah in 2012, John Mahama was thinking about making sure in and out commander sugar factory SUO for the central region, nipa be 20,000 will get a job. Sibiana John Mahama Ejunisa Kwame Nkrumah obesi before for UGMC no nim say COVID-19 beba kwasiafo ejimifo abedi so no plan kwasiade nko ye question omo so na bubu ofu aden a ye party mabodam monjai pain no monfa yawo yemfa yawo nchichire man. You need to have an open perspective any other chichire man. Now the Danko Ekufuor we should not sit in Ghana. When Ekufuor came, Okada said Oba implemented free SHS now. We all said it was good, but it was too quick. Take your time and continue from where your friend progressively started. That's all. There was nowhere John Mahama Kujinaka said free SHS Ekufuor or see the way you are implementing it, and the more problems we are crying China. Because during John Mahama time, free SHS comprehensively implementing, we never heard to say there's food crisis. We never heard to say students, and the omni baby that yanting crosso asem, yanting red, gold, green asem. So it means progressively we were getting there. It is what now, but find a way to make it still smooth. That is what John Mahama said. He said we need to review this because the way you are brushing your teeth, you would sick too much, or sitting upon you get blood coming from your mouth. But now you have good intentions because white, breath is smelling nice. But the moment toothpaste you are basically doing harm to yourself. And then John Mahama catch NPP for. You are basically using this free SHS to do harm than good. And we are feeding your kids in school. And more asaya maggot in Sonoma and Adiagum. You want to leave all this and go and discuss John Mahama. NPP Bawumia almost a year and over to govern this country. We are not asking them. We are not asking them how far with our economy. We are not asking them where are the jobs. We are not asking them why haven't they constructed a single regional hospital. We are not asking them why they've not been able to build one chip compound. We are not asking these people where are the roads. We are not asking these people the nurses. We are not asking these people anything. With Jimmy na mudi a yawo and a journalism. Yadi a yawo journalism and kamotitia. Kwasia yawa yadi journalism. Kukuba kuria journalism. And the one Ghana banchino no. A yawo yamfanya journalism. You need to be factual. When I sit on this platform and the NDC mess up, I'll make them understand. Even though I have a soft spot for you now because of the work you people did and I want you people to continue, it does not mean you should fool around. So when I have to criticize the NDC, I put everything aside and tell them the truth. Consistently, I have criticized Sam George, I've criticized Mutala, I've criticized Harun Idrisu, the speaker himself. I have, because when you're politics, I make sure the facts are what we are supposed to live with. Moya journalism said the muye ye, moya abrofo ye, moya bibiti sa bogafo ye, ye de ose a time to yakese, ye yanko nya bebre, yame pentifie, and yes, I need journalism. You have a fair, clean mind. You need to be conscious enough to analyze the issues fairly, because there are so many people who are more renowned, who know more about economy. They know more about the health sector. There are people who started journalism before I was born. They are watching me. They know. So you can't sit here and pretend as if so much Jimmy. They are not stupid. You need to let them know these are the facts and these are wrong. That is how we build a nation. Now anko mo fa dia obi Jimmy. Anko ya mamu a obi ayakwasia. Na yen san fan swam na mon say no. New York for over 7 years. The question here is, New York City is so busy. How are these people able to do this? Because it has been streamlined. There is a law that he knows that when he breaks, that thing he's driving, nipa na or employer and a company na or they can take it away from him. And you need to start from somewhere. You need to make sure that the laws are there. You have streamlined it and let the people know. Wow, problem. The company you are working for, the company will be held responsible. Police no man ticket. It will affect the company. No, see a man ticket 3 times. The company will have no option than to sack that driver or rider. That is how it's supposed to be done. Sana John Mahama mo. We need to streamline it. When we streamline it, they'll be forced to abide by the law. Because when you Okada from Kevin Taylor Company, then the police in Asia, amount ticket, ya jo special number, in a cost system, you know, see amount first ticket. Ya sa kochola to be a kwashi, wako chinkwasi Okada, ya amount second ticket. So me employ you as a company, I will call you and say, I'm sorry. Because every time you amount ticket be a 500 Ghana, I cannot do it. Put the motor down. Thank you very much. Bedoka saying, go. That is how it works. I will put it in the system, say you are reckless. Anywhere be able to say, Okada Chino, the other company will just check your facts and say no. In conform agriculture, so muka too much because now only imrano so. A Jimmy for what it's a gun and Quasia for more better than a chroma, Munsian, and what it in William. Mama Tin America to William, what Jimmy T. We need to start from somewhere. And then Mahama Kachiamono, and Yanya Sami Chamia Wuko Jina cycle say, Wagada Okada for Bawumia be mamu VW, or be mamu cars, or be mamu Benz, and I'm Bemamu Mobetia Keteketi, Muma small boy way, Samia Wuku small boy way, Ebe Jina Winimo cycle. Cycle now, John Mahama see Yana time I wo, a ye Samia Wuku, now who be that. Cycle no Bejina Begi can Quasia Samcho Okada for Bedadamo, cause some chin baby amo bono. Because I can just and majority of you people are much Okada no and can most dying. And I'm with Jimmy for waiting or Bejina John Mahama say or be Streamlining Okada, Mamuntie, John Mahmoud Bawumia say or the cars Bremo and ye Jimmy T, ye didn't quasia for which cast away. Yes, Streamlining and can there and can majority of you people come away Juma Amoye. Thousands of young men and women. Now, if every region the government even allows to say every region we should have one company that manages Okada. Do you know what will happen in Ghana? Every region, one company. Say region way, Ashanti region, Kwame Ata company. Mona mu manage a Okada. Yama Okada ni ticketa. What's a company obetia? Can be easy. And every Okada person will be in line. Because me, my employer, now you're Juma Mame. Now say amount ticket me and some pamon because I can't be taking too much ticket. I need to pay. And that is how we are supposed to run the nation. Imagine every region there were 2-3 companies on running Okada. They are the ones administrating Okada, making sure say bike green, bike yellow, bike red, Ashanti region. You say bike green, this company there, bike yellow. Into bike green kwasia motorbiker. Police no ni say ohano or stopping now. So stop. Give me your ID. Do you have ID? No. Let me see your number. My number is K77. Put it in the system. Mama will take it. One more quarter. Your company will have to come to court. Or banning at 2,000 or be you ready. Until everyone on Okada Bia Ochibia will be wise. Say, any say me boom ranoso. Men traffic. Men make sure say Obia shall helmet ne Timoto no so. Every light is working. That is how you streamline a system. Kwasiaba Bejino and a Mahama Okada uni Nipo mu. Do you know the number of people who die from road accidents in Ghana? Can you compare road accident killings to Okada? Mo Jimmy. You sit in Ghana, Master Betina Broche, mo Jimmy Munimu Yansa. And I'm Besia 8 good years almost. Ye bia or Ghana near to one ye Jimmy home. Kwasia party binti, Kwasia fo binti, a Jimmy phobia mo feel entitled inti, Obiabra bonkoso. Young people are struggling. Nurse for bread, teacher for bread, everybody's struggling. Kwasia for and I'm to radios TV so I didn't tell ya can fonti a secret yunguno and more and a mukotimu crew. I can form more Ghana, Mon Kwasia for mukotimu crew. Because we want to build a nation. We are not building country. Yeah, in fact, a pen build it. Jimmy too much. Yes, some subiemo. Yes, some kwasi asem so. Ya bet chemo pepe. And John Mahama's policy will defend it pepe. Ya bet chemo Ghana for nyina tiase moa. Mun defend Bawumia. Why na mun defend Bawumia policies? Na me dwen say Kajo Mahama de enye no na nka mo de Bawumia de abeto na nka mo twirikirima che Ghana for say we na ye moa on say nyansa bi ani wo se bo so oni bibia se bo so mo NPP ni ankwasiafo party mo say party ni ngini nipa ho. That is how we need to build a nation. And come for 24-hour economy better now mo ka say enye ye e na Okada e na de na nka mo de NPP de aba say we na ye moa ye ntoma hwan. And Obi can BJ the Ghanaian police will prefer to give tickets than to take bribe. That one too, there will be a streamlining. Mamika Vincho. Adebia Una Brochia. Or say, they started somewhere, they struggle to get it right. I didn't know any nimuno. Obia Busa a valid question. KT, the Ghanaian police will prefer to give what? To take bribe than to give them ticket. Me say, it will still be streamlined. The police, that particular thing, and this will be a hindrance, no, there will be a policy to streamline that. China tie into who's America and the taxi driver chika no social man ticket at a point no more problem and it's no introduce you ticketing. So no America police on Jessica at a point it used to happen and then they adopted a strategy, a policy, so police need to win bribe. That is how it works. Now in America, now police were brutalizing the minority, for and now blacks. Every time the police officer no America black American no and African no police in the report no against nipa na yabono no. So now they are like, let's have the body cameras. That is how abrofo journey. Every time there's a loophole, they try to find solutions to it. Until now, it is going to be the body camera report against you, the police officer. Now let's see who is lying. And each time we introduce a body cam, because now you are being recorded. The camera is recording what is happening. Now come and tell me a different thing. I'll say the AC or Ghana Biana Brucheka say where at a point they struggle with it. But they sat down to say, no, young fair differences in Tunchain, dealing with this issue. That is how it works. That is how it works. My Obia and say, whatever is happening in Europe and in America now, it's smooth, it happened today. No. They have been around over 500 years. They have gone through their shit. Where we are now is about 200 years where they were. What we need to be doing is to be learning quickly, learning from them, adapting their policies, and saying the above boy no ne afa ne aboye. Into the episode you Okada, you episode streamlining. You come here and we take what they are doing, which is good, which we can infuse into our system, because we cannot go back 200 years. That is why free SHS and start here. John Dramani Mahama, any NDC if one can say we also want to do free SHS. And say some countries are made free, but we don't have the financial capacity to do it like the way America, Akorako kindergarten, or Bekwa do high school. school, no one will 20 fees. We cannot do that. So what we have to do is we have to progressively do it, because we don't have the financial capacity. We don't have even the food to feed all of them. We don't have the materials to print books for them. Their uniforms, paying bills for them. So what we need to do is progressively do it. In the John Mahama say, young farmer days too for students in Kwa. We will not be feeding them. We will not be buying uniform for them. That is what you do. So slowly, then you try to fix your system. Because you're when Jimmy Dodo, you don't understand how you build a nation. Slogan Jimmy Solokuna and Jimmy for me, Jina say, Yabo within Naya from Yamenyum, Yadichi Kuranka, Anka Cambodia. Yamenyum, Edichiria, Kuranka, Jamaica, Koshanyam Tuno. Messina Menyum, Quasiababi Bejina, Yabo within the Afro inti, Quasiana to Yamafan or Nansa. She, we are son of Brofujiro, mine. Oje sana bro for teacher of mine. Oje sana Nipo Majuni Wolf, that's how they build their nation. No, they don't build their politics. They don't use Enyamenyom to build their policies. So no, they look at practical solutions. Practical. Me and Kamitia to say I'm your bar and I'm coming to Ghana better in America say Ikuya Poki. And I'm Abewu America. And I'm Akoda Dem Emma Mehusibia Ote hospital. Only who couldn't meet that bakum, toilet room, bathroom, a pull out bedroom, your 2 minute machine, Sisi Uswa, camera, Edda William, or Banokra and Danin, we are nurse need to be back as a Dan who say na Corano, no home and Embaye. Nami who sign your way in a Nasa Abibia Besiso, Echo 8 years, no to me see one facility, Minya Bawa Ghana, Ebit my bia, Nametinaha, Nasa me defend Sabamia Quasia, Kawi or Basa, Kanisan Saban Kratwaso. And so Poki. Nanka so betina because dabi. Dia mabebu no krom ha no. Sibia mabehu saade we bia me minim ka Ghana me ko na ayam hyehye. Sibia maba abewo afa me ho afa me ba. Me nko ano e wo se aban we eto a yetuama no otumi see at least one regional hospital. You are not even supposed to discuss anything, but we jiminti or the Nasante some and then I can't send the radio so and oh yeah NDC for 24-hour economy talk about what can change lives. When I sit here, na me to na me Mbako Park, na me share me many other colleagues. I'm on number 4 Diagro Park, and I ask myself, this is just a playground. Why can't we have some in Ghana? Why can't a sports minister come and say, my agenda is to make sure every single city in Ghana there is a standard playground for every community, and that the kids will at least, free school bar, parents can walk them there and be watching their kids. At least their brains will be free a little bit. Why can't we just adapt to that? How much do we need? Near the question to the piano, as me see the papa a doctor, as me see no a lawyer. Oh, a lawyer who answer with all due respect, lawyer for your law and your own answer. And it's now question law, ultra logical reasoning exams. Because Omnim said, Nyansa near and a law near. If you don't apply Nyansa and a law near waste. I wrote my law school LSAT 2013. Because Ghana be a lawyer and I'm Ghana. You people sit there and question someone. We don't want to tell the people. We don't want to tell the people the truth. Your body the experience to be papa. People like us, we are not better than anybody. We are not better. I'm not better. I'm not the smartest student. Me was school my classmates name. I'm not the smartest kid. But at least I can focus on what I want to do. Majority of my mates are brighter than me. But I've gotten to this place and I'm doing better than some of them because the opportunities are here. I've been given room to explore. Why can't we do that same back home? Now, Kwasiemi saw a lawyer, Kwasiemi saw a vice president, Kwasiemi, show me the job. Muna moya problem no muna moya problem now your bad time na ukrukure nyi sika na obewo abrochira na wo hwe bebia wo ye no na wakofie na aban bia bedi so mfie nwotwe ne yekwe na ontumi si regional hospital betuma jobi nkwa o da wote wo say NPP ni NDC I den I disappoint here abra aban bia ba besi regional hospitals where Jimmy now what bad time now you know I said you saying your tax collection method lazy Bawumia to GRA Mahmoud Bawumia catch Ghana Revenue Authority say omo tax no sibi omo jejene no omo ye lazy kwasi akeka na ma men kan story na mnyudwo munchiro ye Jimmy ena jo Muhammad chechire mu no na okay story was say we Bawumia no asem it is lazy for the Ghana Revenue Authority to keep focusing on existing taxpayers for revenue mobilization, while the vast majority of non-taxpayers are not sought after. Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia say, "A lazy, just say a quadro, say a GR4, ebe tata, a nipebia sebio, omu etia taxes here, and the yakomwa omutia tax. Omu tata sanko for na omu jai nipebia, omu dia omuntia tax omunantinanto. Mami cheche mu ye Bawumia say, GR4, omu ya quadro. Adentina de bia nipa bi na omo jeje tax wo mo ho na nipa bi na omo de omuntua no omo gya omo ko question ne say so we adwuma ana so we nye adwuma ukonye sika wo akotua tax. When you have not created employment, Kwame Amoakote techiman, Kwame Amoakote eye santase onye adwuma enti tax be na okoje no ho. You first create the employment. When you create the opportunity and employment, then you go after the person. When also the Ghana card aba. Into one day for the Juma Ghana, the company no engine 10 number. Wait, Jimmy. And these are the foolish politicians we have in Ghana. You don't have job, you cannot take taxes. Over America, tax. It's a fact. Because you will file your taxes at the end of the year. Juma waye. Me Juma tax when I'm filing. That is why the American economy, the European economy, they make sure at least obienye bibi kakre, because the moment you get something doing, they can tax you. Now you have been in office for 7 years. You have not created any job. And now the tax you go for so in conformance to umo juma and a e-levy and a DND condom tax and a DND tax kwasia. Now umo juma and the sikaram kofan when you make your tax into umo juma and betia. That is why the burden will be on the little few who have jobs. So Debiano, Ghana, because you people have not made it easy for them. How to make it easy is simple. Create opportunities for the people so that they will all be on the same level playing ground. Also, Vice President, who is an economist, who is supposed to know this, who is supposed to understand, say people can only pay tax when they are making income. Bawumia is not an economist, though. Bawumia mulu. People can only pay taxes when they are making some income. Unye juma, and I'm going to tax. In the first place, the people are paid indirect taxes. So onye juma kono koto dot, onye juma no koto margarine, onye juma no koto cocoa. When din can tax cocoa dada. Now create opportunity and then tax again. No, person create opportunity. Open direct tax. Abra, you have not created opportunity. You can only take direct tax when the person is making income. You are lucky to be able to take indirect tax because the person might go buy sardine, so be the dokuno. No tax sardine, no. But the tax ankasa say, "Wa ye juma ni sikeni obetibino." You are not going to get it because umane juma nye. A chile wunya economist, unless you are not intelligent, unless you are foolishly talking to those weak-minded journalists to come and do propaganda for you. Me who are there when I Bawumia is a comedian. It's a joke. Now omo mugu bubuashi, omo mugu malata. Omo mugu eye sofolai, omo mugu eye adabraka, omo mugu eye bantimade santasi a omunye adwuma no. Oje say omo de. Oje say how omo say omunye adwuma na eti omo tax. They don't care. So odi ne busuma ketia ma na wate na emfa no ho, wagina kotia. Na omo bi adwuma de bi ma no. O say adenti na ye engine tax, o bodam. Mo bodam mo say na mo pesa mo chichiri kuro no. How do you want to govern? You don't want to serve the people, but you want the people to serve you. It doesn't work like that. You always need to give to the people for the people to see say it will make them interested in paying taxes. It is because of what we see and internet they be file taxes and internet they be a tax because my roads are good, my water is flowing, my light doesn't go out, my kids are being admitted in good school, I have good health care, my health insurance is solid. Into taxes I can't complain because everything is on point. Now on service in panel. Kwasi afomu so na multiplayer mu. Kwasi afomu so na mo wiesika Bawumia be di vice president. O choba na do to UK hospital mu. At least that should have told you say you should think and build one hospital. When you Bawumia you became vice president in 2017, you almost died because your hernia was coming out. They flew you from Ghana to the UK for a white man to save you. That should have given you that idea that you need to at least build one regional hospital. You have foolishly displayed ignorance for 7 years. You are telling us that what? 24-hour economy is not good and that we are taxing too much. For 7 years, what have you used the taxes for? Yeah, papa Kufuor and I'm Ghana. Most of them so so ultimate one hospital and function in the Munyam copies will be. John Mahama bet about hospitals to do and sign a JJ Wallace ko awu kura no obetuma hye baby owo no akasa mi si hospital magana mate party way otumfo Ashanti chief atena ma ne wo for the £700 at a party muntumi mbo hospital ba ku hye mo ni munyam munye nim guasefo entokwa hunu ne nsam hunu ene emode entokwa hunu ensusoso hunu faso bia ni so muntumi nkase yesi regional hospital ba ko ama abogana ho ban bo party ne faso amote faso be na wo so. And the news are about to say, what you condom tax in Ghana? What you condom tax? Because some kind of move. And the news in say over Ghana, over 72,000 people in Ashanti region estimated to be living with HIV. So I'm for whether I mean you editorial no at all. Let's see. Send those Ghana. Let me say it in English so that the tourists will know where to go when they go to Ghana. Let me speak in English so that my fellow tourists, when they go to Ghana, who are visiting Ghana this December, they will know where to stay when they go to Ghana. Now, the Ghana AIDS Commission is saying that if you're a tourist, you are a tourist, not terrorist. You are a tourist. We don't want terrorists in Ghana. That if you're a tourist, and you enter the Republic of Ghana, be careful because the Ashanti region, 72,000 people have AIDS. So it will be best for you to go to the Greater Accra region, the Eastern region, the Volta region, if you want to stay away or you don't want to contract HIV/AIDS. With that, now me just saying. Now who are Santimemo so you must show. As I'm speaking. We are santini out here santime so we etumi show. Our shows as our show saying because ende nipa 70,000. Now remember, we ye the Omako hospital be actually obudi ato ho. Our so tia say be number we miensa enko hospital enko check ye. Meno ka say omo Ashanti regional omo na bi at night club anadwi etartare omo ho. And I'm gonna be at night club. That was a fool say Ashtown. Menoka say a ginum. I could say there we a numbre di ginum a tarataran call for him. Intimino Casana, you never 70,000. Now, when I went to us and Timemo and Nipa 70,000, Ubet Maso Muna. Mike so condom, yet the tax are to say Pim. It the probability, Bonica a probability. Or nesu. Aquabodam. Bronica say Nipa 70,000 Washanti regional. Papers no now 8. Say ye statistics the free one say omo check in beka 100,000 omo 8. Now una also ye Christonia wo de wabom pa ya abom pa ya una wo de nyame do. Bronica said the probability what about you say nesu untumi so awu bia o ye dan adidim that the economy is challenged. What does it mean? So because we admit that the economy is challenged, that so usua brofo a obeso kire saying or say economy no. So in the first instance no, and in the first place he admitted that they have destroyed the economy. Now, which graduate on earth can live in an economy that is already destroyed? You see, that's why they be amni Ghana forecast say politicians and yomi nim nyansa bebre jimi ba ye na my o madwene yo muso nim nyansa you say car na utim no car na say na nti car na wagye atum say we driver wotwi car na bra petrol nim ma petrol na asa e ma diesel awe e ma car na say a passenger ben na betumi akọ reach the destination. Because if you are talking about human resource, at the end of the day, it is when the economy can support that human resource and I'll be something out of them. Say economy now say now, and every single child or what senior high school Ewo school papa ma osua de sebio onko red gold green. Ewo eduane pa odi. Now the question here is, so why admit to say economy na say then technically you have admitted say the prime and I said the main purpose in tia to abamamo say mumbe lead Ghana no, you have failed there. So we don't even need to move further because there was free SHS before you brought free SHS now. Even let's cut this guy a slack. Say you find the free SHS new. The new 400,000, the 400,000 people now must say more rescue more on the streets from the streets no. Percentage wise, the 400,000 people, how many of them today are basically resourceful to Ghana? On say according to say there is time for debate. We are going to debate this. It is election year. We didn't Kenya idea we say election time we do. They need to draft lies and come and tell you. Nobody's going to debate anybody. And you with Juma and the Betchere, you will debate your job. You would debate your performance. You would debate your performance. John Mahama debated his performance. And John Mahama does not have to debate anybody. If I want to debate John Mahama, I'll debate this. And when I look into this book, when I look at the job he did, and I don't see, and if he's lying to me, I would know. And that is how I'll come to my conclusion. Until when you say we would debate, don't debate us. We would you have to debate your job, your performance. How have you been able to perform? Because it is through your performance. And the lecturer said we should give you another nod or not. In 2016, you people told us to look at John Dramani Mahama's performance when it comes to the dollar. And we looked at his performance. He picked it from somewhere, and where he wasn't the right place because you people said mo papa kofo a redenomination. The dollar was 1:1. So Mahama has picked it from 1:1 to 4.1. Fine. We said we didn't want it there. We wanted it to stay at 1.1. Today you picked it at 4.1 or 4.2. We are at 12, get it to 13. So you will have to debate your performance. We will not have to come and debate junkies like you. In the 2024 election, Ghanaians are not ready for debate. You will have to debate your performance. You will have to go and tell the people, I have built the 260 senior high schools, 150 senior high schools. I have built your dams. I have created the jobs. I have made the dollar come down. The economy is good. Everybody is doing well. I am comparing this job to the first job and see if I have done well. You would debate your own performance. So for him to first admit that the economy is challenged, that is a technical term. He admitted that the economy has collapsed. If the economy has collapsed, how do you expect any young Ghanaian to survive in that economy? It means you have rather poisoned the water at the end. And anyone who even crossed from here to go drink the water at the end will still die. They are not smart. Or then Tumagubia Kugunikum. Ena washe dukubi. Ajantra for one crane sa ofrijata we na notary omase. Teto akaso ye greboni. Mogu koran enimase. NPP nti inkremo fodo do mo eye NPP mo nyina be ko bonsam gem. Wallahi. Me say because of politics, NPP will take majority of you Muslims in the NPP to hell. They will take you to hell because you don't want to speak truth. You people, mun nyankwa yentumi nje mo nkwa Allah to me save him because of a foolish political party. Look at this boy. He has become so corrupt to the point today he feels that he has to come and sit on TV, look at the Quran and look at Allah and lie to his fellow Ghanaian. Allah in his own wisdom will strike them dead. And the Quran says it and states it clearly. If you put politics ahead of your religion, you would die. And Allah has said it over and over. Time. Would you want to toilet so with Jimmy? Peja maboti. Everything about you people is a lie. Or be child trotch Ghana for Brian Champon. My position in the US I'm Papa Bain. Petro and Ubu. Petro and Ubu. Chrono sa na modi dima MPP shut up fa nipa bia na hote. Esikumu brema esikuma for massa. Watch that kwan. This is how it's supposed to be done. You let the politicians understand say mo ena 2 mini wo mo ho. Next time no obejimi no ho ya mu say ya mo to toilet nguru ho. Na mo tell say 7 years matua eto mo ko brema esikuma ko hwe de wo ho. Bibie ni ho. omo kwan keke mo ba Jimmy fo obejina peje beti I'm the Minister of Agriculture and the Jimmy power mo be wager power on mo Jimmy young man like you what's what na brochire da sa na politics wa brochire mo betena Ghana Jimmy o betena America petrol na ubu petrol dump na ugina soja fo akese na ebetu car una ubu petrol enyo mpo na okuta valve nim obi na kutem na wo kuta entumagu wechire paper form obeduru Ghana I cannot tell you the sensitivity of my job in the US Army o pro the United States left penyini cross the US Army anono yedim the records and these fools we give them room politics now for Ghana and then ojan we mu nyina some person the president and then the Jiminti yama nri we ko wie sika besisi edan tantan bi gugu Africa ye hotel amam for be light no the arrogance of you boys the arrogance the sheer arrogance the attitude mumbra mu ho ase nipa na hwe mo semponche me US Army petrol na ubu. Why didn't you come out and to challenge it? He never came out to challenge it because when you said Ukraine make no on him said the fact I put out there the facts but that Ghana for chatro no mon kwasi awi gigi nkofo yire no mo the parliament adani cash cow oh brother champion dey always go obetua ma osisi a brother champion dey obebo brother champion tumi ko tam obi a wawu efunu not that better no opponent fie ade chia na national security akofa nipa no brother champion we because of politics so politics kekenti tumi keke brother champion tumi ko tuare akotam efunu efi obi fie na dey akoto no opponent fie ade chia no pa na ya frɛ na ya bechi no opponent no se na be ye betwa asema to nipa brother champion we mu nam Ghana we se media politics they are diabolical me dem adwin bomo media won nam Ghana ye de super ne be wo to ma wo se wo nya nipa bia tete Ghana na Jimmy munya adwuma ne ebusam a mo mbrɛ mo ho ase next time obekɔ Jimmy phobia beko break my school the toilet in the begum ho na munya hu hwe let's get closer you see what they will do to you people thing being Ghana when issues like tour in seminar the idea ba the way the media carry story and what they do is they basically confuse everyone tour one facility and I say one national facility and it's a Ghana for edidi agro now there's something happening at tour and the Utna radio huni TV ho the brofo and sebio the katakata no kreso. It is getting to that point the media and some of them are basically doing us so much harm. They are doing so much harm because we have to choose patriotism over political affiliation. Now majority of our media what they are doing today is basically protecting crime. Now few days abe yate what has happened at all to make it basic for every Ghanaian no yes a company bi aba say omo pese omo je tour na omo run tour na sebio Ghana for yenya so mfaso na yenya so mfaso a omo so benya mfaso na sebio tour na yentumi refine eye fango 1960 mu na Kwame Nkrumah and Italians e ka omadwini bom no ka say omo beboa no na ombie to ana onsi eye tema oil refinery idea ni nyina se na Kwame Nkrumah say debi ana say eye in the future no Ghana ye betu fango na wehu sene eye oko Gulf state I say Gulf state ana say Arab state na sata na wetu kwan akwa wiase anom bebre wehu say Arab fo no astati etu fango na ohun sene omode machines etu fango no empo ewa asase so ene nsuom into obedru Ghana no ka che eye Italian adamfo and namfo mo Italy say mo so mbra na yentumi ensito eye tema oil refinery na owa rehwemu no wo gidie say debi no Ghana so betu fango into in the next 60-70 years onim say na onte ase nanso ne nanom beba aba benya fango no ho ehomfaso ene na didim amato abedru bibiedru now and the to the abeto dwa nyina say we have heard and it is on record that the company that wants to run tour majority of the workers the union the workers at tour are in favor of the contract or the deal that company basically wants to have with Ghanaians or sign with the government Now, see, the energy ministry is headed by Napo Matthew Opokum Prempe. Now, what we are picking up, or what we are seeing from the facts are ever out, and the board of TOR a release statement, and the workers union so a release statement. Remember, you're a small union or more TOR, they are basically the Napo workers union, and that union is the union that are opposed. In fact, there are about 8 to 9 people. So we call in general TOR workers, majority of them over 150 or 15 or 18, they are all in favor of this new dealer. A year TOR any sa company we ever sign. Now, to make it easy for you, TOR is for the past 7 years. Enye jumabia. Near to Kroma and Apocache se condensate. A year fango in subit be jineni. Na sansu no crampo yensu atochne. A yensua still ye bet me a ton a dia kwakwa ye bibi to say a year fangwa a year apofo a year fisherman ediko epono. Inti ano susika Napo bekache se under his watch $2 million worth of sa fango no ayira ebesin de ye musa no ho asembia. Go na sector minister. So catch say $2 million worth of condensate ayira. We have to question him, and if we don't get to the bottom of it, he needs to answer questions or prosecuted. But ever seen there $2 million many usika yeni baby alpha. It is one thing. Now also tell us TOR na e wo hosa no tema oil refinery no. So me mana is simpler. You container anka time akwame nkruma me ye TOR no idea ni nyina ne say ye nane anase ye twa ye fango no so ana ye refinery ɛhɔ na yɛbɛ store ɛdeɛn no fango no na nkakra no yɛatɔn bi na yɛde bi so abɔ yɛn ho bra. Now what is happening right now is TOR for 7 years has not been operational. And it couldn't tell me specific was 7 years, and say before John Dramani Mahama left office, TOR was operational, and we should not get that wrong. The facts are there for anyone to go and check. Time ana ewadako under NDC mo hono. That was when TOR basically imported and as omokra clinkers, bigger machines to start refinery. TOR, even if it wasn't operational 100%, TOR was consistently operational. Now, after power society, NPP came to power. TOR ceased to operate. Fango ba kumpo emfa TOR for machines into as we speak. The workers of TOR Ghana da omakumasono, they have been waiting that this government will put TOR to work. And all that they want to do is to work for Mother Ghana, get paid, Mother Ghana to make money, and whoever is willing to work with TOR to also make their profit, and then everybody moves on. And yet the workers and people who have good hearts, actually to some point we say TOR needs to work. It's a company be a unity and saying as our company no, almost say almost per se Sebiu omonitor yejuma. Now say for some time a lot of companies have come forward to work with TOR. Now there's one thing that you need to understand. Yakasa tema oil refinery. So oko omumbre mua. There is something called a year sovereign guarantee. I couldn't tell for a very long time. TOR ain't mean a company emani juma or operated TOR or partner TOR to operate a year the refinery is because majority of the companies that have come forward to partner TOR to operationalize TOR no, they have not been able to meet some standard, and that standard is there's something called sovereign guarantee. You got a sovereign guarantee. Majority of the companies are abano. They expect to say, "Yeni Ghana for we Ghanaians will use our money to invest in TOR for them to just come and partner us." And when you go into the law, it is something that the acts of a year TOR no, and answer the law no does not permit, because TOR is at a point whereby we will need people to commit their money to show seriousness, to understand, say we own the property, and that if you are coming in, you need to bring your own money to invest in it. Senebeya, we will not incur debt, because whether you like it or not, we have the machines, we have the TOR. you will have to come and work with us. So we have the purchasing power or bargaining power, and you have to basically work with us on our terms. And our terms, and then they say, if you want to work with Tor, you are not supposed to ask for something called sovereign guarantee, because we are not in that capacity as a nation or as Tor to invest money. Tor edeka. And consistently, a kind of pilot to the point whereby we or Tor cannot go and lift money from anywhere to say, let's partner, let us bring our money. We cannot do it like to be a PDS, say PDS, but me explaining sure. PDS, the Kufuado money Bawumia the DSC can Gabby money say, catcher say, yeah, electricity emwayamre. Inti your free BB PDS, power distribution and services, a consortium. Say ba. Omukutiska $500 million. Inti ECG for some for $500 million. Mbra. No one can see any $1 million. No one found run ECG. At the end of the day, sa 5 companies are near from PDS, Kufuado, Gabby Mutsi, na Omoba, Omafaka Pramba. But at the end of the day, a Ghana electricity company for $500 million now Omruko Shemuno, and no Nasanko for the BGD. So we have seen these things before. Now, and when it comes to sovereign guarantee now, at the end of the day, Tor does not want to entertain that. Now, for some time now, since Napo Ebeye energy minister, he has tried everything to get his friends to put up consortiums and form it and put it together as a company. But every time on Bebano, the idea na etari Napo call for the H say we want sovereign guarantee. And as Tor, as it sits now as an entity, it does not have money to do what? To put into any partnership. For about 2, 3, 4 years, Napo has been trying to force his way for Tor to accept what we call sovereign guarantee. Now, a company recently just popped up, and that company says they don't want any sovereign guarantee. They want to bring their money and invest it in Tor, partner Tor. And then the company, what it is saying, and they say they want the partnership to favor Tor more than them, because they realize the longer they work with Tor, they will be able to make some decent money. So if it is going to favor Tor and its workers, they will be willing to work with Tor. But Napo, on the other hand, as the energy minister, he does not want that. He wants some of his company almost insisting on sovereign guarantee. Send a Tor this sikabeba, normally sikafia beba abejedino. Into the moment I didn't go through, Napo has also made up his mind and say no company will at the end of the day be able to partner Tor. Say any or none companies are, and until for a long time, Tor has not been able to get a partner to run the refinery. I'm summarizing a simple amount. There were details for you people to understand what Napo is doing and what is happening at all. Now, few days we are in Sembebre. Now the question here is, you said the Attorney General has released a due diligence report, and I say his advice. Let me say that. Attorney General has released his advice on this new company that is doing what is coming to partner Tor. Now, before I go into the Attorney General's advice, before I go into that part to show you documents, I want to explain something to you. This company, I'm Tor Ebe partner, this deal. There are some few people I want to show you first before my Charles Adian. This man. Nidin Ede, Mr. Bernard Owusu. This guy, he used to work at Bost. He was involved in some serious criminality at Bost. This guy was arrested by the national security, and this is on record. Because he's an NPP member, he found his way out of this crime, which investigations needs to be opened again for him to fill jail time. They rebranded this young gentleman, and he came back to Tor, to Bost. Now, this guy, he is on Bost, and he's also a board member of NPA, which is conflict of interest. This is the right-hand man of Napo. this guy, after his criminal record at Bost, Napo declined to work with this guy. He declined to allow this guy to work again at Bost. But there's one lady who is Napo's girlfriend who works at Bost. I'll give you her name. So send me the name and the picture. This lady convinced Napo to reinstate this guy to be his eye at Tor and also at Bost and NPA. So this guy called Mr. Bernard Owusu, he can come out tomorrow and say he was never involved in any criminality. He was never involved in any theft at Bost, and the national security did not arrest him. His file is still on board, is still on the desk. He needs to be investigated. This guy is basically a criminal. And I am not lying. He can come out tomorrow and refute this and say it never happened. And always I put these things out there because it's very important. We are talking about a criminal who is occupying a public office. This guy. Now this is the guy who is basically doing everything for Napo. He is Napo's eye. And the most interesting thing about this whole thing is that Sir Brantiwe, he cannot be at Bost and at the same time be on NPA. He's on Bost board and on NPA board, which is not acceptable anywhere. But Napo is keeping this boy around because Napo is not on the tall board. You get what I mean? Napo is not on the tall board. So this guy is the one representing Napo, and the NPA, this guy is there. One person, he has criminal records. And I'll play you his criminal records for you to say. In fact, if I have to read a little bit of his criminal records to you, if there's time, after the show, our team will publish all about this guy, and then you know what he has done. So after the show, on our page, you will see his record and we'll show you. We don't have enough time. That's why I'm trying to move forward. Now, this man is a former MD of Tor. And his name is Jerry Kofi Hilson. Jerry Kofi Hilson. He used to be the former managing director of Tor. This is the man who was basically working with Napo before he left office. This man was basically doing everything for Napo because he was at Tor, he was on the board, and Napo as the ministry or the minister who wasn't on the board, this was the guy who was doing everything possible to get Napo's company to get that deal. So when this guy was in office, he was the one pushing companies to come in to go through the sovereign guarantee. But it never succeeded. They wanted to do something before this guy was sacked. And I'll show you what happened before this guy left office. Now, sir, contract now company we pay so many Bost as sign, and you ask me, how beneficial is this contract to the workers, to Bost? Now, I'm going to show you what is in this contract, and then I will tell you what the Attorney General has done and what Napo has done and why today we are here. A company that wants to help Ghana is thinking of pulling out. Today there was a cabinet meeting at the Jubilee House, and the company that has already committed money to this is thinking of pulling out because Napo and the government are not being fair to this company. Remember, if this company had been given the opportunity to run Tor, we, the people, would have benefited from. And remember, they were not going to force Tor to contribute a dime. They were 100% going to put their money into the running of Tor. And there's one thing I didn't tell you. All the companies that Napo introduced when this Jerry guy was in office as the MD, all these companies were coming in with finished products. Now, this new company that is want to work with Tor, they are thinking of coming to refine the oil in Ghana. But Napo's companies were all coming with already refined oil. They were just going to use our storages to sell their products. Whilst this new company that is actually finding it difficult to push this thing through, they were just coming to come in, work with us, refine our own oil so that we could generate money. Now let's go into the benefits of this contract if it wasn't for Napo, and how Napo has manipulated the system with the Attorney General why we find ourselves here. Now, look at this. Now, you see this, it's called a Tor Rehabilitation Project. Maybe Nyabu tracking kind, and the man pick a phone calls, cry, it's fine. Let's not rush it. So that Ghana for better here. Now, this document I'm going to show you, I'm going to let you know the benefit and at all, Eba Benya, a free a year, this, and the workers at all. And intina, majority of the workers are in favor of this. The union of Tor, the Tor workers, they are in favor. But a few, like 8 people who are basically following Napo. Every time Napo travels, Bernard is part of it. Every time Napo travels, those 8 people campaigning against this deal because Napo does not want it. They are the ones working with Tor and working at the ministries or the Ministry of Energy. Bernard works at Tor, boss, and works at the Ministry of Energy, which is not right. Now, let me show you. This is a document. I'm going to break down the benefit of this and why Napo is supposed to be in jail. He is depriving Ghana of something that will create employment, generate money, help sustain Tor. This fool called Napo thinks that if it is not about him, then Tor should collapse. That is why today the workers, they have risen up. They are angry because they have been there 15, 20 years and they know this is the best deal for Ghana. Now, when you look at the document, it says this. It says, Tor Rehabilitation Project, facts and figures, restoring its infrastructure, economic impacts, and staff morale. Now, when you go into the document, this is what you see. You see options available to Tor early 2022. In early 2022, these were the options available to Tor. And Napo did everything possible to stop these available options. 1. Traditional prospective investors showed no interest in backing the rehabilitation opportunity. No traditional investors showed interest. From 2022, nobody showed interest. Tor was sitting there idle. 2 proposals sought to raise more debt to be replaced on the Tor balance sheet, supported by a government guarantee or letter of credit, and lacked any credible crude supplier as part of the proposals. Now, you realize, the deal Tor wanted, they were not getting it. All the companies that wanted to come in wanted Tor to invest. But Tor, as we speak, is bankrupt. Tor does not have money. They are not even paying the workers. So it was difficult for Tor to go out there and say, we are taking our money to go partner with anybody. Now, Decimal Capital, later Torrentco, proposal offered a solution that resulted in no additional debt obligations for Tor and was supported by a global leading oil trading company. So along the way, a company called Torrentco showed interest in this. That company called Torrentco showed interest in investing and partnering Tor without any sovereign guarantee. Now, Tor has left the door open to further options to achieve the rehabilitation on sustainable and attractive basis. But despite early promises, none have so far yielded positive interest in rehabilitating the core activities of Tor. So you realize this company also showed up. Then it died down again. The last time I did Tor story, Mekacham said every time companies will show up and check, their interest will die because Napo frustrates the companies. Because Napo wants his companies to come in and then use the sovereign guarantee, which is not advisable, which is not allowed. Napo was using the former MD to push several companies through. But every time they come, the only thing that stops them is the sovereign guarantee because Tor does not have money sitting there to partner anybody. And when companies come and say, we also have our money, Napo finds means to cut it. So it was difficult from 2022 for companies or traditional companies who have done oil deals, who are into the oil operation, to even come in and invest in Tor. So Napo basically said, if I don't get it my way, nobody will invest in Tor. And that is why from 2022, Tor another company, another consortium has come forward saying, say, sovereign guarantee biya, Tor di omusika bishim, di omusika Tor. Napo is finding ways to stop it. And he's using the former MD, and the Attorney General to do that. Now, so these are some of the things that Obese who was this new agreement and a deal. Now, the new company, Torrentco. Now, initially, time and a new company went by, and this is what Tor was going to make. Right now, they have not started operation, but this is what we call the provision. This is what we call the estimate. Say deal where you can see an Napo business no a koswa, because Tor is not putting a dime. This company is basically bringing money. Now, initial crude suppliers, $3 billion revenue. Trading volume is 6.5 million tons. Product overtake in partnership with local BDC. Now, 400 billion revenue. Global leading independent energy trader, engineering input. Partner engineers. Partner referred led Tapel engineer John Hogan and team. Cat investment, local engineers resources. So Sawusha, you see 3 companies down there, engineering input. These are companies who were ready and are ready to partner Tor to make sure say Tor initial generation and our initial crude supplies, you know, it will move up. And when you look at the deal very well, these companies coming together to form a consortium to basically not go through a sovereign guarantee, but basically bring in their money to help Tor. They had the plan. Technically, everything they were going to do was basically going to favor Tor. Now, sir, when you go into a year, the estimate and how they can change things for Tor. Now, sorry. This is what you see. The companies have their shares, their shareholders. When shareholders come together, they call it a consortium. When they all come together to form one company under one umbrella, it becomes a consortium. Now, this is company now Omoba Ababe She Edio Musika Abesha Tonum. Inti company now come Uboma ye from Tapel shareholding. Now, Tapel na basically the friend say mother company. And omuwomuno amokeka hono so shareholders. Inti Osha Torrentco 40%. Card investment 40%. And a Tor workers entity 20%. This is where it gets interesting. Now, so Osha idea your friend of Tor entity and a Tor workers entity. Okay, I tell my JJ Rawlings was no. At a point, JJ Rawlings moved Goil, that is Ghana Oil Company, onto the stock market. The reason why he moved Goil onto the stock market, and then they say the workers of Tor, no, JJ Rawlings wanted them to own some shares in the company, so that when they are working for the company, they will be committed. Into worker be a company so who says something is going wrong, because he's a worker, he has a share in the company. He will basically feel say they need to do something about the problem. So Kaya, that is how JJ Rawlings was able to make Goil big, because what he did was that he moved Goil and moved it onto the stock market and gave 10% shares to the Goil workers. It is also workers who were working at Goil, they were more interested, they were more committed, because the more Goil grows, the more their revenue or dividend grow. Into this new deal, no, what happened? And then they said the company said that, and when the company met the workers, they said, if you give us 20% as shareholders of Tor, what is going to happen is the workers are going to sacrifice more. The company that is bringing the 40-40 will understand into technically the quota of Tor, no, the workers' shares in the shareholders percentages. In this new deal, no, even workers of Tor, technically Ghanaians were going to own 20% shares in the whole production, even though Tor was not putting a dime in it. But when profit starts to yield, Tor workers basically are also owners of Tor, because when you give workers responsibility and give them some kind of entitlement, that ownership, they are able to help the company more. In this house, to study this new dealer, Napo stop it on bebana. Even the Tor workers entity, they were going to get 20% shares, which was very good. And the two other companies, will bring 40%, 40%. So basically, this was how the whole structure was going to look. Napo did not like it. Napo didn't want Ghanaians to own shares. Napo wanted the whole thing to be about him and his friends. So even these guys were coming with their own investment without taking a dime from Tor. Napo was stopping it. And he said, who reading very well, you see, say, Tor staff broad-based benefits to Tor working environment on rules to be determined by board of trustees or directors. TAPEL structure results in benefits to a broader set of shareholders, including potentially significant benefit to Tor workers, provide board or management with a window to the commercial benefits of the proposed lease. You could see, say, if this deal had gone through, the workers, majority of the workers, they were going to get 20% shares in the whole deal, which is good. But Napo said no. Napo didn't want it. Napo said, if it is not me, my companies, who are also going to use sovereign guarantee, where Tor will have to go and bring their money to put in, Napo said he wasn't going to agree. Remember, the former MD, Maboni Dino, I'll bring his matter to you. So all these things were going on. Now, now when you look at the numbers, and we will publish this on our website after the show so that you understand very well. Torrentco TAPEL proposal. This is what the company is proposing. This new company, and this is what the company is proposing. Almost say TAPEL to lease asset of Tor for a period of 6 years. Almost said the partnership was going to be for 6 years. Now for the 6 years, how beneficial is this deal going to be for Tor? Maybe I make sure how dangerous the Attorney General is. Now it says lease payment divided between annual rent, additional rent, fixed maintenance, bonus payments, and annual insurance premium to be covered by TAPEL. Into all these things, annual rent, that is fixed per annum, per year, additional rent of the place, fixed maintenance fees, variable maintenance, bonus payment, annual insurance premium, and all utility costs to be covered by TAPEL. Then agreement may be terminated at the option of Tor at any point during the term of the lease. Maximum flexibility for Tor in light for the early termination amount that Tor would need to pay. So basically, the TAPEL company and they were going to take care of all this. They were going to pay the annual rent. They were going to pay the additional rent. They were going to pay the fixed maintenance, variable maintenance. They were going to take the cost. And this deal was for 6 years. They were going to incur it. They were bringing their monies to do this. Tor was going to get a share of 20%. I'm talking about the workers' entity. Now, what it's going to do is they were going to refine the oil in Accra, in Tema. Napo did not want this. Now, what I told you now, you don't see how serious it is. But I show the numbers, the amount of money the guys are saying they will pay. Because they really show about annual rent, additional rent, fixed maintenance. You don't know the actual cost. But I read the actual cost and show how much money these people called Torrentco TAPEL were proposing. Annual rent $1 million a year they were proposing to pay. Tor was not going to pay a dime. The annual rent for a year, the Torrentco TAPEL were proposing to pay that money, and then annual rent fixed annum. When it comes to additional rent, that is $1,107,000 per month. In a year, they were going to pay $13.28 million. They were willing to pay per annum, per year. This company was willing to pay fixed maintenance fee of $423,000 a month. In a year, it was going to be $5.08 million. They were willing to pay. When it comes to variable maintenance, they were willing to pay $3.2 million. When it comes to bonus payment, up to an additional $1 million, assuming 10 millimeter, whatever, they were willing to pay that. When it comes to insurance premium, estimated $6 million per annum based on historic quotes, this company, they were willing to pay. when it comes to provident fund, on time payment of the workers fund, 2.5 million post closing. This companies, Torrentco, Tupel, they were willing to pay this money. Tor was not going to produce a dime or put in a dime. And this is what they were thinking of taking. This is the responsibility this company, without sovereign guarantee, were willing to do. Napo was still blocking this process. Now, what was going to be, or what is going to be the financial benefit to Tor? Said deal we go through. Let me read the financial benefits to you. Financial benefits. Annual financial benefit based on cash inflows from Ede. Torrentco will be annual rent. Tor was going to make 1 million. And basically, additional rent 13.28 million. So these monies were all going to be monies which were not going to come from Tor. The annual total, which is 29.56 plus, was going to go in without Tor's, and this is going to be the benefit Tor was going to make, $29 million. And this, if the people had paid for all these things, had invested the money, these were all going to be in favor of Tor. Napo said no. He still didn't want to agree. Now, I'm sure I did. Now, when you look at this, current Tor annual operation cash flow, se sika Tor enya, se Tor situation no, this is how it looks. Mi wia na machro se Tor eye deal we ko through a de Tor benya. So currently, this is what Tor is making. And when you read it, let me enlarge it for you a little bit. Now, why would Napo stop such a deal? What will make him stop such a deal? Now, current Tor annual operation cash flow sika ebem eni de omudi. Revenues, auxiliary operations 7.2 million approximate. Scarce Tor no. And it's about auxiliary operations. GPMS dividends 7 million approximate. So between the revenues they make, they are making 14.2 million. That is how much Tor is making in a year. Now expenses. So Tor's revenue, $14.2 million. Now expenses at Tor currently. Wages, salaries, administration, they pay $12 million. Insurance premium, $6 million. Utilities, $2.4 million. A total of $20.4 million. That means sika Tor say no in a year, they spend more on expenses than how much they make. So every year Tor makes a deficit of $6.2 million. Because a deficit Tor a boka $6.2 million. Now, because Tor expenses endorse chain revenue, sika onyano endorse chain sika onyano is such a sika or seno. And the Tor is spending too much and making less. Into currently, this is how much Tor is making, and they are making a deficit of $6.2 million every time. Now, we are talking about deal with Napo allow deal with to go through. This is how Tor is going to benefit and Ghana is going to benefit. Revenues, Tupel, up from what I have shown you and how much they are bringing, Tupel inflows, they are going to make 14.28 million plus additional rent. They will make 14.2 million. GPMS dividends, they were going to make between $8 to $10 million. So Tor auxiliary revenue, they were going to make a year $4 million. Into Kamboma, Tor ebe make it $26.2 million. Now, say contract nebaswa. Remember, so I top the revenue was what? The revenue was 14.2. But say almost sign contract now over the second one now. The revenue will be 26.2. Now, about expenses, say a sign contract now, about expenses are At the end of the day, the expenses, wages, salary, and all that will be $12 million. Operation cash flow will be $14.2 million. There's been a surplus. Now you can see, say, Tor has made a profit, and they have made close to $8.4 million. In the current state of Tor, and yet they are making losses. If this contract goes through, Tor is going to make revenue of over $8 million. Napo says no. He still doesn't want this to happen. He was working with the former MD, and he's working with the Attorney General to lie to you that this deal by Torrentco and then Tapel, this deal is bad deal. Remember, because a consortium, a couple of companies come together, but there is a mother company, and the mother company basically is the head company, and then they're a friend of Tapel. Torrentco is a shareholder in Tapel's consortium. And Cardinal, they are shareholders in Tapel consortium. At the end of the day, we are dealing with Tapel, not Torrentco. You need to get that right. Torrentco isn't the main company. Tapel is the main company. Torrentco has shares in that consortium. If we Ghanaians want to deal with this company, we are basically dealing with Tapel, not Torrentco, because Torrentco falls within Tapel. So don't get it wrong. If the government of Ghana wants to scrutinize this consortium, we scrutinize Tapel as a consortium. We don't go into Tapel and go into the companies that are shareholders, because Tapel will provide an overall document to prove that it's a consortium that is ready to work. I hope you understand. If the Attorney General wants to assess this consortium or the company, the Attorney General works with the Tapel company. Torrentco, any cardamom, they all fall within Tapel. Nowhere should Attorney General pass Tapel to go and investigate Torrentco. There is a problem somewhere, and I'm going to show you what they are doing. I'm showing you what Napo is doing. And that is why today Tor isn't still working. And internal workers now are agitated. They are demonstrating. A few they are the ones distracting you people. Now, my mention they dangerous. What do you on a normal day, should be pissed off. And I'm a boy. Now, my mention. You see this man. Today, when you ask the Attorney General, this man, the former MD of Tor. This man, the former MD of Tor. Now, you ask yourself, what did this man do? His name is Jerry Kofi Hilson. What did he do? What did he do to help Napo? What was he doing for Napo? This man was basically doing every single thing for Napo. In fact, when he was in office, before he left office, he tried everything possible to do what? To bring companies that will use the sovereign guarantee, but it didn't work because the rules and the laws state clearly that Tor at this moment, their financial status does not allow them to get into any deal which has sovereign guarantee in it. They will only partner a company that will come in with their own money, no sovereign guarantee. This man in office, he and Napo connived to do something. The moment Tapel came in with this proposal that they want to invest in Tor, the first thing this man did was that, until date, let us ask Napo and all of the board members, who basically wrote or who basically instructed somebody. The reason I'm saying somebody is because the board, from Napo to the board to the committees, nobody has been able to tell us that they instructed somebody to do due diligence on Torrentco. Now the trick they did was that they knew that Tapel was strong. The proposal they were bringing was big. So what they did was that Torrentco, which was a sub or a shareholder, what they did was that this man, out of nowhere, without any instructions, decided to contract an individual nobody knows to do due diligence on Torrentco. Now, before Ghana or Tor signs a contract like this, the Attorney General needs to give an advice. And I'm a boy. So that advice, and a Tor better now I can say, okay, advice way a ye ana enye. I was see a cock deal man, I say a court deal. No. Now this man was in the office. Now Tapel for the bar, you know. He and Napo connived, and then till date they have not been able to mention the company they contracted to do due diligence on Torrentco. The due diligence was supposed to be done on Tapel. Torrentco is a shareholder. Tapel is basically the consortium. But what this man did was that they contracted some illegal person to go and do a fishy due diligence on Torrentco. And when they did the due diligence on Torrentco, they basically sent that due diligence to the Attorney General. And they were saying that due diligence is basically the financial status and credibility of the consortium. And instead of them to contact Tapel, they ignored Tapel because Tapel is the company. They rather went into the shareholders and basically went to pull out Torrentco and say, let's use Torrentco's figures and numbers and use that as due diligence and go and give it to Attorney General. And when we go and give it to Attorney General, the Attorney General will base on this and come out and tell the world and tell Ghana that even this company that is willing to invest in Tor, they are not financially stable or credible to work with Tor. So he does not agree with the deal. And Nuntina, at this point, people are asking, when did the Attorney General get to know that this deal was going on? When did the due diligence, when did the Attorney General receive the due diligence? Because the timing here too is important. Did the Attorney General receive the due diligence last week or last 3 days? Now look at this. This is the due diligence that the former MD, partner Napo, to go and do on Torrentco instead of Tapel, because they know Tapel has everything right. They knew Torrentco was new. So what they did was they basically sent this to the Attorney General and told the Attorney General that this is what the deal is. Give us your advice. The question I'm asking right now is, can the former MD or the MD currently tell us which company actually did the due diligence on Torrentco? Now, when you look at this document, right, this due diligence wasn't done by an Attorney General. This due diligence wasn't done by Tor. This due diligence was done by a company that was contracted by the former MD of Tor. Meaning, the MD and Napo came together and made somebody go do due diligence on Torrentco instead of Tapel. So basically, they decided to do their own job and go give to the Attorney General as this is the consortium, this is their document, look into it and grant it. Because Napo knew that when he goes into the consortium and pulls out Torrentco is not going to be as big financially, it's not going to be as strong financially as Tapel. So the Attorney General will base his advice on what they have given him. That's what I'm asking. Can the Tor former MD tell us which government sanctioned company was given the nod to do the due diligence on Torrentco? Why not on Tapel, but on Torrentco? And when you look at this document, you will see something. It was all the way in July and no year due diligence. Why is the Attorney General now coming out with an advice? Because when you read the document, which we will publish right after the show, it says this: Mr. Fuseni Idrisu, the General Secretary, General Transport, Petroleum and Chemical Workers Union of TUC Ghana. Now look at this. Reply: request for reassessment of Torrentco's credibility as a lease of Tor's asset. Now, read the first paragraph. Reference is made to the above subject matter. We refer also to your letter reference GTPCW/G 16 volume 4 307 and dated the 5th of July 2023. The 5th of July. And that the Attorney General got hold of this document from the so-called due diligence company. July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months. And November, 5 months. And Attorney General Nebabe Kacha said this is his advice on the deal, and that he believes that Torrentco is not financially stable and lack credibility, so the deal should not go through. Why not Tapel? Why Torrentco? And my question is simple. Why is the Attorney General not asking about Tapel, but rather going on to give advice on Torrentco? Torrentco is a shareholder. CAD is a shareholder. Tapel is the mother company. Why have you left the mother company to go in there to go pick the smaller one to say your one thing and so a Juma way intimate penisel? There was a collaboration between the former MD, Napo, and the Attorney General to make sure this deal does not go on. In fact, what Napo and the former MD did was they cooked this and they threw it on the Attorney General and said, look at this. I know you are going to say no. And the Attorney General came out and said no. So when you read this whole document, which is a 3-page document, after the show, we will publish this for everybody to read. You will see, say, Napo, Napo and the former MD, they quickly, when they saw that this company called Pedal, what's the name? This company was basically in a good position to run Tor, partner Tor, they did not want to do it. So they basically took Torrentco and sent it to Attorney General and say, write a bad review about it. Give us a bad advice so that we can tell Ghanaians in December that Torrentco is bad news and they cannot do this. I've read all the benefits Tor was going to get. The workers 20%, 20% for Torrentco, 40% for Torrentco, 40% for CAD. Why would an energy minister decide? And what will stop an Attorney General for giving an advice? For 5 months, he never gave the advice. Until the last day that this thing came into the news, the Attorney General just released a statement that Torrentco is bad news. We cannot do business with them. When you read this document, you will see that when you go to the observations, we note the following from the DDR. So let me tell you, that document way is what the Attorney General based on to say Torrentco cannot be given the deal. And it's not Torrentco which is taking the deal. It's a Tedel. They are the ones taking the deal. So why is the Attorney General focusing on Torrentco instead of the mother company itself? Because they saw that Torrentco was new. They were weak a little bit. They could use them. They could punch there and make their way. Because Napo does not want this company that was going to take over this deal to help Ghana to take over. So when you read the observations, we note the following from DDR. That's the due diligence. It says the DDR notes that the identity of the proposed lease, Torrentco Asset Management Limited, has changed twice during the due diligence process. The question here is, who did the due diligence? Which company? Who gave the contract? Due diligence was done by who? Why didn't you do due diligence on Tedel? Why due diligence only on Torrentco? That is the question. So why didn't the Attorney General ask these questions? Why did the Attorney General just concluded and give an advice that Torrentco cannot be given or be granted? Because Torrentco technically is not the one seeking the deal. It is Tedel. They are the ones seeking the deal. So why are we referring or making Torrentco the ones who are like they are sitting at the table with us? Torrentco is a shareholder. They are not sitting at the table with us. Deal with the mother company, but they know the mother company is strong. It's a combination of good companies that have good credit. So they don't want to do that. They want to go in there and hit the rip. That is the way Napo is running this. Today they had a meeting, a cabinet meeting, and the bad news is this company Tedel, what's the name? Let me get the name right. The bad news today is they are thinking of pulling out of this deal because they are not being treated fairly. You know why? They have already started working and bringing equipment. They have started the maintenance work. Go to Tor right now. The company has invested money already. They are changing equipment. Because when they sat with Tor and they sat down, they signed a pre-contract that shows that you can start bringing in stuff, because this was too much of a juicy deal for Tor. Now the company has started investing, and now the Attorney General, the presidency, Napo, and this is where they are. They are thinking of pulling out. Tor is going to sit there idle again because Napo selfish interest or per se, any company, Ghana will not benefit. So the Omotiti TV so can I have shown you this. These are the facts. So obi se me boa and me try to obi so a, I want the person to come out and say this is not true.
The analysis that you just made, this simply means that Napo and Co just want to take toll for themselves. Yeah, they just want to take toll for themselves. This is what is going on. Jandam. I'm telling you, anybody who has never set foot in a class, based on the interpretation you've given, knows that if they talk to the top company, Ghana will prosper.
Yeah.
Ghana will make profit. So instead of doing that, there's this thing that we used to do. So people say, "Ontimi imprawa washada shewoba," and now be related to you. No washada te say opese okunu.
Yeah.
This is what they are doing. And secondly, Kevin, for the past 1 week, I've been trying to call you. The system in Ghana is not working. As I'm talking to you, I'm a peeved person. Somebody in Ashanti region went 3 a.m. in the morning and demolished my family house that had been built for 100 years. Just because he has gotten a couple of people from the family who had given him some part agreement. You see, I don't understand. Ghanaians must wake up. If you don't change these people, I'm telling you, Ghana will burn 2020. I hope Ghanaians are listening to you because you have changed the landscape. Nobody will tell lies again. I've been telling them, if you tell lies, Kevin will prove you wrong because this is the facts. All these that you have shown, these are the documents. How can you forgo 8 million that Tor is going to make and then go and get a deficit of 6 million? But these people would do it. Jandam. They would do it. Ghana for these people. Then 2024, vote them out. Because if you don't vote them out, these people are crooks. They are mafias. They are hoarding monies to come and give it to you. Just can't but vote them out.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate this. All right, thank you. Hello, caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last night me catch out say electoral commission. Me ni omo aye adwuma minim say the city. Nene newspaper review. Me say omo beye new ID cards foforo. Na ID cards now omo beye no. Omo be register enkwala nko 15 million omo boa. Omo be register enkwala 15,000 toddlers omo boa. Omo be register omo nkrofo no bi afem. Nti NDC for no enye very very vigilant. Aside that, so omo say omo move to US, UK, and omo be register nkrofo nko 3.4 million.
Yeah.
Ube hu se beba na ya me makase ma ye adwuma electoral commission order. Na de omo ye ni say omo ba ha say abe register nkrofo no omo de NI for no ba omo the electoral commission staff beka ho.
Yeah.
No mbe ye no embassy ho. Nti no omo abon aka kire US base NPP for no say omo fa nipa emehia omo. Nti probably next month and I say early next year omo start ISR there no but enkwala ne de 15,000 no omo be ye ne de e be start be next week or next 2 weeks. Nti NDC for more money na ho pa. Omo ye bibia na ho da yandam na gu. Nti omo hu ba bia omo fa nhye. Nti omo be register nipa no US and UK. Omo ye hu emfa ni nyina no ni ade sa na tie.
But thank you.
Otaka say uduru abrochira hu children's park. Mahama besin ko baby wa nhye bobia o uduru ho no gina ho no hwe hodin. E original coordinating council. E kwa no so ho baby na uduru ho a ye frɛ ho Ratri Park.
Yeah.
Ukoduru ho a eniema wo mo aye wo ho no uduru abrochire ha sei na se okọ park a wo de uduru Ghana ya akọhwe de mekan. Any green book no mumpo. Enti mesre say ade amaka no ehia me papa because me ni electoral commission for aye adwuma da. Enti omo di electoral commission for be di akire aba US aba register nipa ko UK ko register ko Germany ko register nipa. Omo so omo be register nipa no 4 million.
But I say thank you very much. All right, thank you. Hello, caller. Hello. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Kasabitio.
Kevin, say, asema okay. Enyeme wawa. Simply because so bekaya maybe one yibia free Michigan Michigan Aerospace Manufacturing. US. By say ba be boy Ghana. Nanka even say be boy in medically. Kwajima menu any other munyina masa deal we say a way a boy into a young one cry say sadi we see a eden esi Ghana into when the Sumaya no ready some boy Ghana.
But I say thank you very much. Hello caller. There were just 2 minutes. Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Now what to say?
If you are call.
Then I'm say the money do my wife.
Nice one.
Oh na ya so na. The best show wow. Your friend is saying I said Brian Champa some na person me kaka.
Kasa.
Who say omo ahomaso no. I said the omo papa no mo japade na omo de hwe Ghana.
Yeah.
Wa ba wo gina nkrofo anim no omo kasa. I said the Wabutum Sika. I said the Ubina Power Chow said the friend is saying ministerial appointment. Now, friend is saying, be Juma, be one I would open. I was obeying the amount. And I said the never Sika or the Mabaya crime. Oh, it's our your friend is a home must say no more. I say, but was the last mechanical about me about this slap. That was platform.
Obeji,
slap
that's it. Thank you.
Secondly, a friend Mustafa Ahmed. Oh, send a wire call to some better watching one. Also, they said, oh, share the picture. Now, we share her. Also, difference of them. We should do one lie. One day, we do one day. Now, go on Casabacasa. Obeji ne so.
Obia just slap and the true hello caller Obia just slap. Ye kronum. Answer one day Bawumia gina stage Obia slap. Hello caller. Hello. All right. Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Patrol me Casa Free London. We did this summer. Yeah. Asama Kevin Kai and no. Nkrofo we di omo ha adwen pa omo ha Ghana adwen pa eti o se Ghanaians e ma eni da ho na yeto abati a omo na Ghana so hunya no ho tono.
Thank you very much. All right, Menasi. Okay, hello caller. Hello. All right, we lost this caller. My man for back. Hello caller.
Hello Kevin, at the same. Kevin, Miss me na Mr. Mammy chance na min coming some Hello? What do you mean? Mr. Me
Casamitio.
The American say, my hun say, and tough for paper for more Ghana no. Omunti say, and paper for now, ye ni more than when we are who for. Obi to make a children say, Moba Kumasi, I bet you more Jaremo. Ye bet you more Jaremo, and I said the same person at Timia Besirim. I begin a platform so. We are boasini, what customer snarly more or boasino. Na enye adese ubetimia ho kanta fo na wafa ho adisa we di wadi matem sem hu fin mo ba ye be dware mo hansa na maba wasan basirem ho amama san antima hu sentafo no mutie ukwa omo ntafo no mutie un Kevin na me sa koma sem ba akoso mi hunu se no da boasefo timi ba santen ho ebe chain sika na sa sika no oboase hospital eda ho ejuma na wo ka so mabie na oboas bisa me pese o ma boasefo frese boasefo dodo sen e na omunya ejuma ni biye boasefo dodo sen e na omunya AGC ejuma ni biye asanti aguguru boasefo dodo sen na matimi atem sika twitwiri die we dia koma santen ni enwa abra boase AGC ene wo boase hospital nipa okohon ma Kevin urebe ho di me person frɛ boasefo se asante hene ayi no bebie no agugro no boasefo dodo sen And yes, argument be coming Andrew 10. Andrew 10. No more cruise aska when you had it, and you shall any multi. No more come Santa Henry. So when you're day, Nanta for any American mobile show no so qua.
That's it. Hello, caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. Solution Napo Gara for Munjaisa. Solution Napo Titin, no doubt. Any official that you find out that these guys are causing predicament, development of Ghana, just assassination. That's the only option. But supposed to motion when you're happy, I'm not going to Kumasu and no one.
But straightforward. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Kevin.
Yes, I can meet you.
Hello, Kevin. Charlie, Duba, Muyi wide, correct. Kevin, on say who is the car and what did they do all day?
Ampa.
Because I go find a music or who was me find now, Fido's road, no popo. Now, the album was so dear. Hey, Dwala, Amusia, no Mesha.